Hi everyone. And this fanfic is based on the show Jake Long, the American Dragon. I called this "You Invited Rose, How Could You?" So, if you want to read this, okay, quickly, I'm just going to go now. Complete. All right. I'm going to give you a few seconds to read this part if you so choose. All right. If you need more time, pause. You can read this part if you want. Pause if you need more time. You can read this part if you want. Pause if you need more time. Who can read this part? Alright, I will mention here. This is based on the show Jake Long, the American Dragon. I got the idea for the following fanfic after watching the episode where Jake learns Rose's secret, but before he reveals his. So, this is when I typed it, or edited the typed version of this. So, you want to read that, you can go ahead. Alright, so this is one of those birthday-themed fanfics, which weren't originally birthday-themed fanfics, but I altered them so that it could count as a birthday-themed fanfic, because I didn't have many. So, this is one of those that I had to alter to make be like a birthday-themed fanfic. Alright. Now, originally, the Halloween-themed party, Halloween-themed birthday party, it was just a Halloween party. So, I changed it to a Halloween-themed birthday party to, have it as a birthday type one. Anyway, let's get on with the story. At Jake's grandpa's place, Foo Dog has thrown a Halloween-themed birthday party as a gift for Jake, with the surprise visitor on the way. 5 minutes later, Foo Dog excitedly says, "Jake, I have a surprise for you. Come with me." Rose is now beside Foo Dog. Foo Dog happily says, "Ta-da!" making a sideways V with his arms presentingly. Hopefully that makes sense. Jake happily says, "Hi, Rose," and politely says, "Would you excuse us for a minute?" says Jake. Jake takes Foo Dog to the storage room to talk in private. Now the two are there. "You invited Rose? How could you?" says Jake. "I thought you liked her," says Foo Dog. "Do you not like her anymore?" "I do, and I don't," says Jake. "It's complicated." "Why is it complicated?" says Foo Dog. "Because Rose is Hunt's girl," says Jake. "How long have you known Hunt's girl's identity?" says Foo Dog. "Since the winter trip we took with the class. I'm sorry I never told you," says Jake. Foo Dog has an idea. "Hey, we could use this to our advantage. Hear me out. You could ask her out, gain her trust, then have her show you the location of the Hunt's clan so we can take them down once and for all," says Foo Dog. Jake explains, "Despite her being a villain, I don't want to deceive her like that. It's wrong. I will not." I haven't watched the show in a while, and I watched it once when I did. So, I hope this all still makes sense. Anyway, "It's wrong. I will not," says Jake. Foo Dog assuming, "So what I'm hearing is you'll think about it." Jake madly says, "Fine, I'll consider it," says Jake. Now, Foo Dog recommends, "Now go rejoin the party." Jake is now back with Rose. "So while you were in the back with your dog, Trixie told me you have a crush on me," says Rose. "Is that true?" Jake admits, "Yes, I have a crush on you," says Jake. "That's awesome," says Rose. "Do you want to go on a date with me?" asks Rose. "Wait, seriously?" says Jake. "Yes, so on Friday, meet me at Olive Garden for our date. Is that okay with you?" says Rose. Jake in awe, "Yes, I would love to go on a date with you," says Jake. "Awesome." On Friday at the Olive Garden, Jake and Rose have just been seated. 5 minutes later, They tell the waitress what they want to eat. 3 minutes after that, what is happening there? I guess my finger slipped and I hit some buttons that were not what I was trying to say. Alright. Was not what I was trying to type anyway. Jake politely says, I hate to interrupt your story, but... No, I don't need that. But I have a tickle in my nose. May I be excused? Says Jake. Rose says happily, yes, go ahead. Jake runs outside. Rose thinks, that's weird. Why did he have to go outside to sneeze? Meanwhile, outside with Jake. Achoo! Says Jake, sneezing. He then gets strange looks from a couple of strangers. Jake, confused and annoyed. What? I just sneezed and I covered with my arm. Ben questions in awe. These are characters from my own series, the ADHD Secrets series. If you want to go and see their introduction, go to that video. You don't need any context going into it. It's my own original characters and series. So, if you want to get their introduction, go over there. Anyway, back to the story. Ben questions in awe. Gloria? Did you see that? Gloria informs, yeah, I didn't think dragons existed. Jake, surprised. Wait, I'm in my dragon form? Says Jake. Ben reveals, not fully, you have a tail and red ears, but the rest of you is human, says Gloria. Jake shakes his body to get rid of the dragon features. Am I good now? Says Jake. Yep, all good. Ben says, and you can trust us to keep your secret. Gloria explains, yeah, me and my boyfriend both have ADHD, says Gloria, and have felt the need to hide it in the past. Okay, I need a tone of voice here. Where am I now? Here. I'm sorry, I need to edit this. Okay. And I felt the need to hide it in the past, says Gloria. Ben honestly says, yeah, so despite us being strangers, you can trust us to keep your secret. Jake sighs, that's a relief. Jake is now back at the restaurant with Rose. So, why did you have to go outside to sneeze? Why'd you have to go outside to sneeze, says Rose. It's a long story. I don't want to bother you with it, says Jake. Isn't the point of a date to get to know each other, says Rose. Of course it is, says Jake. Okay, so spill. I can't, says Jake. Why not? I can't tell you, says Jake. Why are you hesitating so much? All I want to know is why you had to go outside to sneeze, says Rose. Jake madly says, drop it, Rose. Due to Jake's anger, both his inner and outer dragon come out. Literally. You're the American dragon, says Rose, shocked. Did I accidentally transform again? What's wrong with me today? Says Jake. Sorry, how much of me is transformed? Says Jake. What do you mean by how much of you is transformed? Are you implying that sometimes you have both dragon features and human features at the same time, says Rose. Yes, that can happen. And are you implying I'm full dragon right now, says Jake. Yes, you're full dragon, says Rose. And you couldn't tell me you were the American dragon because... Also, you haven't answered my question about why you had to go outside. I did that because sometimes when I sneeze, I go into half dragon mode. And I'm not allowed to see that because, says Rose. Jake answers, because I know your secret. Rose acts clueless. What secret? Let me start by saying, fun fact, you have the same tattoo as Huntsgirl on the same arm. Sorry. On the same arm. I mean, coincidence? I think not. Sorry, I couldn't resist the reference, says Jake. Quick, detransform. The waitress is coming with the appetizer, says Rose. Thanks, I almost forgot. Jake transforms into his human self. Once the waitress leaves, Rose realizes, that's right, both human you and dragon you have seen my tattoo. That's what gave it away, isn't it? Yes, says Jake. With Trixie and Spud's help, I connected the dots. Or should I say, the scales. Oh my gosh. There's a firehouse not too far from where we live, so this is a normal thing. To hear sirens. Unfortunately. Anyway, back to the story. I got distracted by that. I am doing the voiceover outside. While we still have daylight. And warmth. Anyway, back to the story now. Yes, with Trixie and Spud's help, I connected the dots. Or should I say, the scales. Wait, Trixie and Spud know I'm Huntsgirl, says Rose. Jake, oh my gosh. Whoopsie. Wrong letter. There, good. Okay. Yes, and that I'm the American Dragon, says Jake. But you can trust them to keep a secret. To keep your secret. To keep your secret. I mean, they did find out about our secrets and have kept them to themselves, says Jake. Rose admits, true. Had you not transformed, I wouldn't have known. Hey, speaking of accidentally transforming, did that happen when you went outside to sneeze? And if so, did anyone see you? Jake answers, yes and yes. But I looked out since the strangers were willing to keep my secret. And were understanding about it, considering they have their own secret. They've kept their own secrets. Well, that must have been a huge relief, says Rose. Oh, it sure was. That's good, says Rose. Does anyone else know I'm Huntsgirl, says Rose. You know that Halloween-themed birthday party you were at last Saturday, says Jake. Yeah, why, says Rose. Remember the talking dog? You mean the kid in the dog costume. That wasn't a kid in a costume. That was the famous Foo Dog. A real talking dog, says Jake. Okay, what does that have to do with this conversation? What does he have to do with this conversation? Says Rose. I told him you were Huntsgirl, says Jake. Rose questions, and what did he say when he found out? Jake reveals, he wanted me to convince you to show me the Hunts clan hideout so we could have the upper hand in a battle, but I told him I didn't want to deceive you like that. It's also why he doesn't know about this date yet, says Jake. Rose understandingly says, okay, I don't blame you for telling him who I was. However, if we can unite our groups, we won't have to date in secret. I mean, if you want to continue dating after this, says Rose. Yes, I want to continue dating, says Jake. But it won't be easy to unite our groups. I know it won't be easy, says Rose, but I have a plan. We're both a big part of our groups, right? Jake explains, yes, without me they wouldn't defeat a bunch of villains. So if we get them to think we'll leave if they aren't willing to work together. So we get them to think we'll leave if they're not willing to work together. Okay, sorry. That's a great idea, says Jake. Impulsively says, I love you, says Jake. Wait, seriously? Says Rose. Yes, says Jake. Will you be my girlfriend? Does this answer your question? Leaning in and kisses Jake. Rose kisses Jake. Jake kisses back. Okay, sorry. After 3 months of the two dating in secret later, they're about to battle. Leader of the Hunts clan says, Huntsgirl, you know what to do. Jake's grandpa says, Jake, all your training has come down to this. Happily patting Jake's back. Make me proud, says Jake's grandpa. Now, in the middle of the two groups is Rose and Jake. Time to put our acting skills to the test, says Jake. You ready? Asks Jake. Rose whispers, ready as I'll ever be. The two do a 15-minute stage fighting routine. Jake then stops and says, you know what? Has violence ever solved anything? Says Jake. So true, says Rose. Let's unite and work together to fight even bigger villains. Jake tells, and no one will see this team up coming. After an hour and a half of convincing, they do have a point, says the leader of the Hunts clan. Do they ever give him a name? I don't know. I can't remember. Let's team up. I never wanted to be a villain anyway, leader of the Hunts clan says. And together we'll be a force to be reckoned with, says Grandpa. Because Jake's grandpa. Jake whispers, and whispers to... Okay, something went weird here. Whispers to Rose, great, and we didn't have to threaten to leave our groups. We didn't even have to threaten to leave our groups, says Jake. True, and since we are united, it's safe for us to do this. Rose kisses Jake, and Jake kisses back. And we're a couple. You can't break us up, says Jake. Rose and Jake are happy they no longer have to hide their relationship anymore. No one wants to mess with the Dragon and Hunts clan anymore. And they all lived happily ever after. Everyone's happy there's no more secrets between them. The end of You Invited Rose? How could you? Okay. Oh, man, I have my device connected to a power bank thing, and the cord hit my leg, and I thought there was a bug on my leg. Oh, man. Mine's playing tricks on me. Anyway, back to the story. I hope you enjoyed this story. I had never watched the show as a kid, so I just recently started watching it for the first time. My kid brain told me this is a boys' show, therefore, being a girl, I couldn't watch a show for boys, and if I did, I couldn't reveal that I liked a boys' show. I realize now that kind of thing doesn't really matter. I could rant for hours on shows I missed out on due to thinking they were just for boys as a kid, but I won't. Anyway, you may have noticed that I decided to have characters have dates at the Olive Garden in a lot of these fanfics because it's one of my favorite occasion restaurants. I just decided to have that as the place where couples in my fanfic stayed. Once by this fanfic, I thought, what if Foo Dog invited Rose to a birthday party for Jake as a surprise, unknowingly to the fact that she's Hunt's girl. So that was kind of my inspiration. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. And I just got a like on one of my videos I posted today. Anyway, thank you for watching. Now, you can either post a dragon or dog emoji. If you've made it this long, made it to the end of this video, so I know that you watched till the end. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.